At a luxurious outdoor restaurant nestled in the heart of the city, surrounded by warm lights and the gentle hum of a classical quartet, Adrian Hayes, one of the city's youngest self-made millionaires, sat quietly at a candlelit table with his 6-year-old son, Lucas. Adrian looked impeccable in his tuxedo, the picture of success and composure, yet behind his calm exterior lay a storm of helplessness. His son hadn't spoken a single word since his mother's death nearly a year ago. No therapist, no counselor, no comforting hand had been able to coax even a syllable from the boy. Lucas simply sat, day after day, silent, eyes distant, his world locked away behind a curtain of grief. This dinner wasn't a celebration, it was a desperate attempt to bring normalcy back into their lives. Adrian thought perhaps dressing up, surrounding Lucas with elegance, and showing him the world again might stir something. But Lucas remained unmoved, his little hands folded in his lap, his eyes vacant. Just as the waiter placed a freshly grilled sea bass before Adrian, a soft, uncertain voice interrupted the rhythm of silverware and music. "Excuse me, sir," came the voice of a girl, no older than 8, her dress slightly worn and her shoes scuffed. She stood timidly near their table, her wide eyes fixed on the untouched plates of food. Her hair was held back by a red clip, and she clutched the edge of her faded sweater as if it were armor. Adrian looked up, confused, and so did a few diners nearby, some raising eyebrows at the intrusion. He was about to gently turn her away when she said something that made his hand freeze mid-air. "If I can make your son talk, will you give me your leftovers?" There was no sarcasm in her tone, no malice, just innocent desperation and an odd confidence. Adrian stared at her, stunned. He had heard many odd requests in his life, but this was different. "What did you say?" he asked slowly. The girl stepped closer. "I know I don't belong here, and I know it's rude to ask. But I saw you sitting with him, and I think he's sad. My mom always said sad hearts need brave friends. I think I can help. Just let me try. I don't need money. Just food. Please." The restaurant had fallen unusually quiet. Even the waitstaff paused. Adrian looked around uncomfortably, aware of the attention, yet something about the girl's sincerity anchored him. "You think you can make my son speak?" he asked softly, his voice laced with pain. She nodded. "Let me try. Just once." Adrian hesitated, then slowly gestured toward the empty seat beside Lucas. She climbed up gently, as if not to disturb a fragile spell. "Hi," she whispered to Lucas, who turned slowly to look at her. "My name's Emily. You don't know me, but I know what it feels like when everything feels too heavy to say out loud. My dad left. My mom works all day, and sometimes we don't have enough to eat. I miss him. Maybe you miss someone too." Lucas's eyes didn't shift. He just stared, but Emily didn't stop. "You don't have to talk. Not if you're not ready. But if you do, I promise. I'll listen." She reached into her tiny sweater pocket and pulled out a folded paper crane, its edges worn and fragile. "My mom taught me to make these. She says they carry wishes. I'll leave this here. And if you ever feel like saying anything, just say it to the crane." And then, without expecting anything more, she quietly got down from the chair and began to walk away. Lucas turned his head, just slightly. Emily stopped. And then, barely audible, a single word emerged from Lucas's lips. "Stay." The room froze. Adrian's heart skipped a beat. Tears welled up in his eyes before he could stop them. His son, who hadn't spoken in months, had just uttered a word. Not to him. Not to a doctor. But to a stranger with nothing to offer but kindness. Emily turned slowly, her eyes wide. Did he talk?" Adrian nodded, too stunned to speak. Lucas looked up at her again. "Please, stay." Emily ran back, and without hesitation, Lucas reached out and held her hand. And for the first time in a year, a small smile tugged at the corners of his lips. Adrian, overwhelmed, knelt beside them both. "You did something no one else could." Emily looked down, suddenly shy. "Does this mean I can have the leftovers?" Adrian laughed through tears, then flagged the waiter. "Pack everything fresh for her. And more. She's not going home hungry tonight." That night, as the three of them sat together under the soft glow of restaurant lights, one grieving boy, one brave girl, and a father rediscovering hope, the world seemed a little less broken. Adrian didn't just send Emily home with food. He found out where she lived, helped her mother find a stable job, and made sure their fridge was never empty again. Because sometimes, it isn't riches that heal hearts. Sometimes, it's a paper crane and a little girl's courage to speak when no one else dares. And in that moment, in the heart of the city, kindness didn't just fill an empty stomach. It brought a voice back to a silent soul.